Good, Palm Tree? It's chillin' Dylan coming at you with another review. This one goes out to my man Richy Rott. The project he just dropped is called Rice and Eggs 2. Richy Rott is a rapper, producer, and filmmaker, bred from the city of Monrovia, which is in the San Gabriel Valley of Los Angeles County, but based in Dallas, Texas. He's taken an 8-year hiatus from music, but he's returned to the microphone with a burning passion, and I've been enlisted to drop a couple thoughts on this project. Well, first of all, Richy and I have several mutual peers. I'm going to give a big shout out to my brother, Old Soul, who from his early days when his company Left Method was a hip-hop collective, Richy Rott was one of the members. So I started hearing my man Richy's name around 2014, 15, something like that. So I've been familiar with his name, familiar with his work for many a moon, but this is my first time myself deep diving into a project. I actually do recall when the first Rice and Eggs dropped. To put it in perspective, Rice and Eggs, the namesake, comes from his go-to struggle meal back in the day. Those first two joints, Intro and Morning Prayer, Richy is really demonstrating his power as a lyricist. Eggy, and along with many other tracks on here, you cannot help but to make like a Kendrick Lamar or Schoolboy comparison. You know, when he's like, relax your mind and get cheese. And the reason I'm saying this is because you hear, that cadence of a West Coast MC, but with that trap flow and that lyrical intricacy. So I'm not mad at it at all. I'm just, recognizing the similarities. LMK, let me know, was fire. I kind of wish the hook was EQ'd a little better. I'm not an engineer, so I can't tell you the technical term that would mean to just bring up the quality of the hook so I could just hear it a little bit better. But I'm glad he's making records, not tracks. And this is something that all of you artists watching right now can take note from. The Big Back Cheesy Extra Pickles skit, he turned into the hood Bubble Bass, and I am so here for it, And you guys, please keep including the skits in your album. It diversifies the project. It let me know your other talents, your other influences. Keep going with those. And that skit is a perfect segue into 90s, baby. Points for the Dragon Ball Z references. I think I heard the teleportation sound and him mention Popo on there. That was dope. 90s Baby is the palm pick, by the way. That's my favorite song off of all of this. And Be Cool, when he said, my bloodline is filled with them lokes, we gonna get into that, through his family. He has affiliation with Duroc Crips out in Monrovia, Duarte. Now, for Be Cool, that kind of has that generic new school hi-fi sound. Unfortunately, it's just very TDE-esque. And not that that's a bad thing. It's just been done. Simple as that. Okay. Slingshot Sunday. Love this duet. The poetic delivery. I appreciate the words of affirmations from Ferry and Moss. And then he mentions Girl Number 6, which is a great segue into the following track, Girl Number 6, featuring V Dynasty. Love that he's referenced Spike Lee joint. His collabs with female artists are definitely superb. And then when she raps, we only on that freaky shit, I'm like, okay, now y'all know what time it is. Honey Juice, Something Grown and Sexy, okay? I love how the album's blossoming into this kind of more mature, sound for the ladies. And a lot of you can learn from Richy Rott here in production and in how he's laying out this album, because he's actually making, records for the ladies. And finally, his cousin Baby Rock on the outro, Free Baby Rock. I've been tapped in with Cuz for many years, so I would just love to see all of this come together. And when Baby Rock get free, I need to hear him and Richy Rott drop some music together. Big ups to, him for putting this project together. I would like to see more visuals to accompany Rice and Eggs too. I feel like, just how like Ellie Dollar got Steak and Shrimp, Rice and Eggs could be like its own franchise itself. Richy Rott's the kind of guy who has like the creative power to make a whole like Rice and Eggs universe if he wanted. So I could tell like there's a lot more where that came from stylistically and creatively. We had a conversation on the phone previously to me laying down this review, and the Kendrick Lamar comparison, Richy Rott said he's gotten that all his career. Okay, that's understandable, you know what I mean? Because I think, both of them came about at a time where, like, they're West Coast artists, but their coming of age years were when the South was dominating the radio. Okay. With that being said, I just want to see more, more content, more music videos. There's a lot of potential here with Rice and Eggs too, for sure. I'm passing that along to you. What do you guys think of Rice and Eggs 2 from Richy Rott? Let me know. And until then, hit me with some more that I need to review. And y'all be blessed during this holiday season. Peace, love, Palm. Are you an unsigned or independent artist looking for a review of your music? Well, you need to holler at Palm. Send an email to prettyawesomelitmusic@outlook.com or just message me on Instagram.
You better follow Palm,
biatch.